Same routine with Brandon. If you can, just raise your digital hand. We'll call on you. We'll start things off with Rich.
Hi, Brandon. Thanks for coming in. Coach was talking about the noticeable improvement that you guys have been caging the quarterback with your pass rush. Where is the pass rush right now, and will the sacks be kind of coming now that you've got that element taken care of?
Yeah, so like you said, there's been a big focus on caging the quarterback in. We've played a lot of very mobile quarterbacks this year. But, we want to continue to develop as a D-line and continue to get pressure on the quarterback. Just because you want to keep him in the pocket doesn't mean that you also don't want to get sacks. So, there's a big focus on continuing our rush to improve our rush weekly. That's something that we focus on with Coach Vince.
We'll go next to Andy.
Brandon, election day is tomorrow. We've been asking some of the guys about what it means to have that opportunity to go out and vote. I know you guys had, practice canceled after the Jacob Blake shooting. There's been a lot of conversations among the program about activism. What does it mean to you to have that day tomorrow to use your civic duty?
It's a very important day for everyone. I've gotten my vote in, had to get my absentee ballot. I'm from New York. But it's something that's emphasized around here a lot. Coach Hafley has said it multiple times today already. Take advantage of this opportunity to go vote and have an impact on having the change you want to see in this country. So that's something that we all echo. And as leadership, we want to make sure guys take their opportunity to vote and represent what they want for this country.
Let's go next to Matt.
Brandon, I think obviously you guys shocked and impressed a lot of people with your performance on Saturday. Everyone other than you guys. What was it about the makeup of your group that made you go into Death Valley thinking you were going to win? And what are those conversations like? Pregame speech and the practices leading up. Is it, hey, no one's believing in us, let's go out there, give it our best shot? Or is it like, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this, and we're going to get the result we want?
Like you said, I felt like everyone was surprised but us. We know what we have, what abilities we have here. And it's just a matter of trusting the game plan, and trusting each other. And I felt like in our Saturday's performance, we've really built on something we've built on throughout the season, which is trusting each other and playing sound defense fundamentally and staying technically sound. So, I feel like we really played well as a unit in all aspects of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. That's something we continue to try and build on as well. So although we didn't get the result we wanted, we're proud of what we did, but we don't take it as a moral victory. We take it as something that we can build off of to get even better going forward in our next 4 games we got remaining.
We'll go next to Julian.
Hey, what's going on? I was just curious, right? Talking about Clemson, I'm sorry to keep it going, but so you play that game, you put a scare into them, national TV, middle of the day, everybody sees it, broad daylight. And we were talking to Jeff about what that does for recruiting, right? When people can see it and you're trying to establish something in the first year. You, I think, committed in March 2015, something like that, which would have been not too long after that USC win.
Yep.
I was wondering, did that stick out to you when you were in your recruiting process, seeing what BC did to that team?
Absolutely, it did. I was actually at that game.
No.
And just to see the atmosphere and the way the team came out and played, it was a tough team, and it went down to the wire. But as a recruit at that time, it made an impact on me as to what type of team BC is, what type of atmosphere you're going to be playing in here, and what type of team they have here. And that's something that hasn't changed, even though a lot has changed since then. The aspects of this team that we're always going to be tough, hard-nosed, and we're going to try and lead the nation effort. That's something that we pride ourselves on. So as a recruit watching us perform now, that's definitely a factor that plays into it. How hard we play is going to entice players to want to come and be a part of something special here.
We'll go next to Emma.
So we talked about this a little bit with Coach, but there's a lot of history in the rivalry between BC and Syracuse. Does that change your mentality at all coming into this week?
Yes, there's definitely a good rivalry between us. The mentality still stays the same, but it's definitely just a little bit elevated knowing Syracuse, especially for me, considering I'm from New York. So this is always a fun one for me to be able to match up, and the fact that we get to take a trip back to my home state especially the times that we're living in now. I haven't been able to go back to New York since I've come to Boston. So it'll be nice to, breathe in some nice, cold, brisk New York air and go and attack these guys on Saturday.
Let's go next to Andy.
Yeah, I was going to ask, did you go to any Syracuse games when you were younger? What do you think of the Dome? I mean, Halfley was talking about it's just a different environment. I mean, even when you won't really have fans this weekend, but what's it like playing in there?
I always enjoy playing in the Dome. It's definitely a different environment. It will be a little bit different without fans being there. Being a Dome might be even a little bit more quiet than our typical game, but that doesn't really change anything for us. Our approach stays the same. So we're going to prepare for these guys like any other. Got a little bit different practice schedule this week with Election Day, but it all stays the same no matter where we play, what state, what atmosphere. We're going to come ready.
We'll go next to Dan.
And I guess building on everyone else when it comes to Syracuse, but the old Big East, I mean, BC left in 2004, 2005-ish, so I don't know if you remember at all the Big East, Boston College, Syracuse dynamic, but just what was kind of your memories growing up of that conference, and especially when it was going through a time of change before you came into the ACC with Boston College?
Yeah, I know back in the day it was a big moment of pride to be the dominating team in the Northeast. It was Northeastern football. You want to be the team that came out on top, and that's something that's carried on to today. I remember when Coach Pasqualoni was here. He actually coached at Syracuse back in the Big East, and he actually brought that up as well about taking pride in beating these Northeastern teams because, those are guys we compete against in all aspects, whether it be recruiting, on the field, whatever it may be. We want to gather that Northeastern fan support and show, that we are the team to beat up here. So it's definitely a big pride thing, even though it's now the ACC.
And if I can just throw one follow-up in there, and this is just a general question, do we know where the dividing line is between upstate and Western New York at all?
Man, that's a good question. I'm going to have to say no. New York's such a big state, it's hard to split it up into, upstate, middle, Western. I can't tell you.
We'll go next to Rich.
You're kind of a different body type, but did you pick up much from Wyatt Ray and Zach Allen in your early years in the program, and were they kind of an influence on you?
Yeah, they were definitely all those guys were an influence. Zach, Wyatt, Ray Smith, Harold Landry, all those guys that I got the opportunity to play with. I would say one thing that stuck out to me was how they communicated as a D line. They always made sure they were on the same page with each other, whether it was in the rush or the run game. They wanted to put themselves in position to support each other, to know they had each other's backs, and to make plays. So communication for them was key in coordinating their rush and how they were going to attack the run game.
And we'll wrap things up with Julian.
Yeah. Brandon, what's up? This is just a quick one. So the COVID-19 pandemic is kind of like the elephant in the room. Like, it's there, but you don't really want to talk about it. So here I go. But when you guys streak together these tests, right? No positives. For you, is it like that's a streak? That's a win streak every single week. For you guys, is it like, wow, we have done something. We are accomplishing something every time we turn back. No positive.
I mean, it's definitely not an easy streak to keep. There's certain responsibilities we got to take as a team to uphold it, to make sure that we stay safe and follow the procedures that are in place now that, cause a lot of limits on our lifestyle. But we know what we want to do here. We want to play ball. So, I just try to go about my day-to-day business and just kind of keep up with what's going to keep my team safe, me safe. And it's worked so far for all of us. So, we just keep at that. It's not something that's like glaringly overhanging on my shoulders all the time. It's not something I'm thinking about all the time. It's just something that I'm aware of. And I just try to go about my business in that type of fashion where we keep everyone safe.
Brandon, thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks, Jason.